functionally, as an attribute, what you do is your value proposition is to move people from A to B as a realtor. There's two other attributes you should consider. One is your emotional attribute. Emotionally, how do you make people feel? Are you the ambitious, powerhouse, get everything done? And so when the client works with you, they feel very confident that you're gonna bash through doors to make sure that you get them what they want. Or are you the nurturing person who helps them with transitions and you're catering to everyone's that's involved in that transition? And I've worked with realtors who make $1 million a year at super supportive, very nurturing, non-aggressive. It's amazing to watch them. Everyone refers them because they're the nicest person in the world. And then I've seen power couples that are like kill it. They're making seven figures and they're just the badasses in the industry, and everyone wants their sign in front of their house. But there's a story to them. So great example. I worked with this, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a realtor, 24 years old, total newbie, newbie. Like he shouldn't be. He's like door knocking, and he's trying to get all these listings in his area. It's this area called in Los Feliz in LA. Zero, just nothing. He's got no response from any of these people, and he's like working really hard. And I'm like, dude, you look like a punk. No one wants to work with you. And I'm like, let me help brand you. So he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, let's develop a brand entity, not your name. Let's create a whole new concept. So we named his brand Elevate. And I was like, Elevate Los Angeles. The whole idea was to elevate your lifestyle, elevate your living, and let's create this really gorgeous modern website. Let's redo all the marketing materials. Let's do a photo shoot for you. We put him in a nice car, put him in a suit. Anyways, he launches the brand. Super cool. Within the first month, he gets 2 new listings. One of them is a $2 million listing. It was the neatest thing. And now it's 2 years later, he just bought his second fourplex on his own. He's building wealth.
That's so cool.
And we stay in touch because he still uses the same brand. And I'm just so happy for him because it's the perception, but it's also the story he was telling.
I was just gonna say, so 2 things out of this, right? What my takeaway is, not being in marketing, is brand matters, right? We keep hearing it. Lots of people are talking about it, whether you are a professional coach, a mentor, a marketing person. Everyone is talking about branding yourself, right? What do you represent? You talk about all these different age groups being classified as millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, right? And they have these common denominators across the different ages. And this generation that is moving the marketplaces is captivated by businesses who make them feel, right? So that's why the brand content becomes so important, right? So whether we understand it or we don't, we need to get with it, right? And this is a great case in point. But more than that, I think it's hard for a salesperson or a business development person to sit down and say, what do I want to represent? Not just today, but forever, potentially, right? So how can you speak to that? How can you coach to that? Can you, or is it a self-awareness thing?
The first thought was they should put a budget together and hire a company to do it.
MAXA Design.
Hire a company to do it. That's when you hire an agency or even just working with a graphic designer to help you build your brand, putting that budget there is really important. I can't tell you, I would say 80% of mortgage companies I've gotten to work with, they don't really put a budget towards it. And it shows. Versus other really great mortgage companies, they're all about marketing. And so I'll break down how I define branding. Branding is an extraordinary commitment to creating a remarkable conversation. And so
that's a fantastic statement,
it's an extraordinary commitment to creating a remarkable conversation. And conversation, it could be about building wealth. It can be about living a certain lifestyle. It could be about family, but what's the conversation you're creating through all the content that's being pushed? So you can't just go on, sometimes I see that, people just say, just get on and record yourself. And it's dude, there's no meat and potatoes. There's no remarkable conversation that's the foundation of the brand.